Welcome back to another episode of Parenting in Progress. I'm Corey.
I'm Jordan.
And we're the Welches. Welcome back to another episode. It's starting to get festive. I'm hearing jingle bells. Mainly because we've got a toddler now who likes singing Christmas carols.
You're welcome. I started singing Christmas carols to Karlee probably a month ago, or maybe first part of November, to be honest with you. It all started with her being so picky on her nighttime songs. You'd sing her song, no. You'd sing her next song, no. And I'm like, you know what? Let's break out some Christmas carols because she seems to like new songs. So we only have a little bit of time to sing them anyway. So we just got started early.
She does. She sings them all by herself. She requests them. She is a little singer. The two main ones that she does know, Up on the Housetop, and, of course, Jingle Bells. She loves those two all the time.
Yeah, it's been fun watching her pick up on different parts of them. You know, before when we were singing them to her, she's just listening. And now she would get to certain parts and be able to sing those parts. And she knows Up on the Housetop, a big portion of it. And like Jingle Bells, she knows kind of the chorus, and that's about it. But she likes Deck the Halls with the fa la 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 laws. It's kind of fun to hear her sing along to that.
I can't say I haven't heard her sing that one yet. She requested it for nap time, but I haven't heard her sing that one yet.
No, I haven't heard her sing it on her own. But if I start singing it, she'll sing along to the fa la 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 la.
I haven't even heard that yet.
We'll do it after nap time.
I might have not paid enough attention, but that is probably Karlee's new trick, as the grandparents called it. That's probably her new trick for the week is she sings a couple of those Christmas carols. And like I said, it's getting festive.
Yeah. We'll ask her what a turkey says, and she will say gobble, gobble. So we still have a little Thanksgiving in this house. But we're trying to get her on what Santa say, and she hasn't got ho, ho, ho down yet by herself.
No, but she does know what she wants from Santa. Every time you do say that, she does know what she wants from Santa. So I think she actually finally wants that. That is not what Dad and Mom has told her because that's what Dad and Mom bought her, but she says it on her own. So I think she really wants one. So another thing that has changed over the last week in our house is we got some Christmas lights upgraded. We upgraded the lights on our Christmas tree.
And to kind of give a backstory on that a little bit, I grew up with warm white. And to me, that's just classic Christmas tree.
And I grew up with colored. I had multicolored tree.
Honestly, when we first got married and we put up our tree, I just bought the warm lights because he wasn't going out to buy the Christmas lights. So I just went and bought them. And honestly, over the years, I've warmed up a little bit to the idea of some colored lights, but now we kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and we didn't want to buy like two sets of lights where one year we make it white, one year we make it colored. We don't have a whole lot of storage in our house, and we didn't really want to store that many lights. And so we ended up buying some Agovie lights. We bought the, I think they're like a starlight light, I think is what they call them. But we put them on there, wrapped it around there this week, and then we got the phone out. We could change colors. We can make it do different things. It can go to the sound of music. Once we got them on there, what was it, like Tuesday, Wednesday night, something like that?
I think it was Tuesday night.
Tuesday night after supper, we wrapped the tree, and then we turned the lights off, just the normal lamps that we have in the living room off, and we're like, Karlee, watch the tree. And I get the phone out and I change colors and make it do different things. And she was all about it. It was, whoa, whoa. She'd get up close to the tree and she was just excited. It's like, Karlee, don't touch tree. Don't touch tree. Hey, it's going to change to this color. And she loved it. She really did.
She really likes when they change. Like we can have it on a set on a certain color, and then we can have them flashing and blinking, and then just multiple colors on the tree. And I feel like she likes that better. Just it's more visual stimulation. So I think she likes that. And honestly, I said this to you the other night, Corey. I was like, you got me. Like, I like how I can have my classic warm lights, and then not even the next day, it could be the next minute. Like we can have multicolored lights, and then you can have the candy cane ones. So if you're kind of a torn household of do we do warm lights or do we do multicolor, I would definitely recommend the Govee lights because you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and this isn't a paid sponsor. We don't have enough listeners to get a paid sponsor. This is just us saying it. We just wanted something different because it had been, the soft, warm light that we've had for the last 5 years. And we wanted to change it up a little bit. And we talked last episode that we wanted to start making it a little more magical for Karlee. So we've got some more lighting upgrades throughout the next few years to hopefully bring that a little more to life as well. We kind of got a plan there. So now with the new lights, we started putting up some ornaments this week. We haven't gotten them all up. We did a little last night. We've done a couple throughout the week. This year, Karlee likes getting into the tree just a little bit more than she has.
Yeah, last year was not an issue at all.
I think for the most part, we wrapped a bunch of presents and we stuck them around there.
Yeah.
And that bordered her so she couldn't even get to the tree. So she didn't really try.
No, she didn't. And this year, of course, she wanted to help put the ornaments on the tree. So she just goes and takes the round balls and just kind of threw it on the tree. And I said, hang on, we need to get like the little hook on there first. And so I put some up there. And the next thing I know, she's yanking them off. And I'm like, whoa, no, like these are pretty. They need to stay on the tree. Look at what we have right now. So it's just reminders for her. Like this is her first real awareness of a Christmas tree and the ornaments. So it's not like we're like, Karlee, no, like, it's not like we're crabbing at her. She just is learning. Like this is pretty. This is decorations. We don't touch them. So we have a couple more boxes of some ornaments to put up on it. And I'm excited to see what she thinks of it with all the ornaments on.
Definitely takes some more discipline because she is a little older, but I think half of it, she's just excited.
She is.
She's getting into the Christmas magic. She's just excited. We're doing something and it looks pretty and I want to be a part of it. And she likes being around it. So
she's starting to learn new words and new things. I just got out the new winter and Christmas books from her closet and put them out in our little book basket out here. And like she had Christmas pajamas on the other night. I said, look, you have trees, tree, she'd say. And then she'd point snowman. So she's learning all these things. And I think it will be really fun to see her excited when she sees them out of the house too. If she sees decorations at the store or anything else.
One fun activity we did this week, we had a parents as teachers event. It wasn't in the town that we live in. We did have to travel about 15 minutes away because the one that was in the town that we had was like at 10 o'clock on a Friday morning. I mean, we weren't going to take off work to go take her to it. So we're like, hey, this other one's, it was at 5 at night. So we traveled down there and I didn't really know what to expect. I think Karlee really liked it.
She did. I mean, and a little backstory here. Each month, Parents as Teachers likes to have, they call it a group connection. The purpose of it is to get families and parents together and to develop friendships and stuff like that. And to get the kids together too. So we haven't gone to all the group connections. A lot of them are at times that don't work for us, or they might not be in the town we live in and might be in the next couple towns over. So we go to some of them, but this one I really wanted to go to because when your friends, Corey, came up to visit, they, in the town they live in, which is a bigger town, they actually have like a kinder music place. And I've never heard of this before. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, we go to kinder music once a week, every Wednesday. And they're like, Karlee would love it. Like they have a daughter that's a year older than Karlee and they have a daughter that's a year younger than her. And so that's what kind of sold me on it. Like if they think Karlee would love it and it's music and dancing, like let's try to go to it.
We arrive and we all kind of get in a big circle. We sign in and all of a sudden we get in a circle and they start playing some music. And I can't remember. It was, I think it was Old MacDonald, because they had pictures of some animals and they'd start singing, and then we'd switch to another song and they'd get little shakers out and we'd shake eggs. And then they had little tiny clappers that they had.
And scarves. They had little scarves.
Yeah, they had scarves. They just had all these little props that each song kind of had its own thing and the kids could play. And she liked it. She got into it. She was shy a little bit at first. Didn't really know what to expect. And Karlee, when she goes to get in her music dancing mode, she likes watching other people. So if you have a lot of dancers there, she doesn't do a lot of dancing herself because she is engaged in what they're doing. Now, recap that, when we get back home, she tries to do what they did. You know, she's learning. So that's one thing. If you ever want Karlee to dance for you, you got to let her dance and you kind of stand still. And she'll get into it. But, she did like the music. Music lasted about a half an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't super duper long.
But the good thing about this was the songs were interactive. You know, the parents as teacher leaders, they would say, oh, here's this next song's about a duck. You know, show me your duck wings and flap your duck wings, or let's pretend to be a sheep and eat grass. And, you know, there's things along the way to get that imaginative play as well. The really cool part, I think, was attending this connection. Then we got access to all the songs. I had to sign up with my email, and then I got login information to the app with loads of songs, more than what we just did at this connection. So we broke into it a little bit. I need to explore it a little bit more.
Yeah, and we thought about maybe buying like a little shaker online or something that she could do at the same time. So no, it was a good day. I had a really long work week. First 3 days, traveled about 5 hours every day. I was getting shot by that third day. And that, of course, was the day of the kinder music. And the whole time home, we didn't really know what time I'd leave. I didn't know what time I'd get out of work. And Jordan and I are just like, we'll just play it by ear. You know, if you're early enough, you can hit it up. You don't have to. It's not a big deal. And driving home, I was on the phone with him, talking to him, and I was torn. I was really torn because I knew I needed to decompress. I just needed a little alone time. I had been around lots of people every day, had really long drives. I just needed to recoup. I was kind of tired. I was kind of crabby. I was kind of fed up for the week. I was. And so driving home, I'm just like, man, do I go to this music deal? Like, is it going to be really fun for her? Because I don't really want to miss out on those things. Now, honestly, I hadn't been to a parents as teachers thing before. I haven't. That's kind of been Jordan kind of during the summer. And her and Karlee go do that while I'm at work. So not a really big deal. And I knew it wasn't a big deal, but for some reason I was just torn between, do I just go home and decompress and let them do that for an hour or so and come home? Or do I try to make it? Is it something worth being there for? And I think, you know, looking back now, it really didn't matter. And I kind of knew that going into that situation, but it was just something where, man, you just sometimes as a parent, you just struggle with those things where it's like, I want to be there, but no, I don't. No, I really don't. And you don't want to be selfish. You want to be there for your kid. You start second guessing yourself of, man, am I doing this? Am I being selfish? I don't want to be selfish, but yet I know where my head's at. And luckily I ended up getting about a half an hour, 20 minutes of a little bit of alone time at home before they came home. And then shortly after that, we had to turn around and leave to go back to it. So all in all, it worked out, but I know there's a lot of times we find ourselves in those situations, and sometimes there's no right or wrong answer.
And that's where I feel like I didn't want to pressure you into feeling like you had to go. I know that you've had early mornings and late nights for 3 days in a row, and I didn't want you to feel like you had to go, but I also didn't want you to think that you weren't invited, that we always want you to come along to everything, but you have to take care of yourself in order to be a good parent as well. You know, like I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I've had those situations like, I really want to do this, but it would be best for Karlee to do this. Or like you said, there's no really right or wrong answer, but that's just another little thing of being a parent. And, you know, it shows that you care. Like it shows that you are a good dad, because any other like crappy dad wouldn't give two craps. They would have been like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I don't really care. You know, the fact that you're torn about it shows that you are a good dad and you are caring. And so ultimately, I'm glad you went with us. I'm glad that you got a little time to yourself, but I definitely know that it was an early night for you. You were ready to go to bed and get some sleep.
Yeah, and I think looking back, I guess I'm glad I went. It really wasn't what I expected. Me
neither.
I really thought, you know, if it turned into like a little dance party, it would be really fun to watch her. And it kind of was, but not really. And once again, it was super short. We thought it was going to be an hour long. It wasn't. It was a half an hour long. So all in all, didn't really matter. But hey, it is what it is. We just keep moving on.
There is this spring, and hopefully you won't be too busy then with planting, but there's a activity that's called I can't even think of it, but it's another musical safari that I think will be more interactive too.
So yesterday we had our first family Thanksgiving, and it was on my side. It was at my grandparents' house. So we've gotten one of two knocked out that we've had on the list. It was a fun day where Karlee can run around. She can interact with people a lot more. She's always on the go. It was a good day for her. It was a big day. It was a big day.
It was a big day. And it didn't start right away. I mean, we left it a little bit later than we wanted to, about 11:30, but.
So we end up getting to Grandma and Grandpa's house. And ever since we were little, when I was a little kid, they'd always have a little vegetable tray there. It'd have dill pickles, sweet pickles. It'd have some beets on it. It'd have black olives, green olives, those types of things, carrots. And we'd always snack on the tray when we got there. Kind of the same thing as Christmas. It was the same way. They had the same tray every holiday, and we'd just start snacking. Well, typical Corey fashion, I went and started snacking. Well, I just got this bright idea. I knew, what is the food that we used to put on her? It was raspberries. That's what it was. I just now remembered it. So last few times we've given her raspberries, she'd put one on her finger. I started putting one on her finger, and then she did it every time. And they had black olives there. I'm like, man, I don't know if she actually likes black olives or not, but I'm going to go put one on her finger and just see what she does. If she doesn't like it, I'll eat it. No big deal. I like black olives. So I walk over there. She was over at Grandpa's, and I said, stick out your finger. She did. I twisted it on there, and she had to show everybody, hey, look what I got on my finger. And then she kind of started biting into it, and she ate them. I think she had about 3 before we even started eating Thanksgiving lunch. She ate pretty decent. Now, granted, she had 3 olives, and I don't know if she had a little snack in the morning or not. She didn't have a really big breakfast.
She had eggs.
She did have eggs.
So I'm sure she wasn't too hungry, but, you know, she's always a snacker on the go, like always.
Yeah, and it seems like at least last year on her holiday, she never did eat well, which some of it was a little bit of sickness / teething at those times. But she's never, I think there's too many people, there's too many things going on, and she ate okay. She had a little bit of turkey. She had a couple scoops of mashed potatoes, gravy. She ate some mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah, there was mac and cheese there, so I had to load her up.
Ding, ding, ding. That's Karlee's number one food yet.
And corn. She does like corn, and so she had several bites of corn.
And it was a souped up corn. It was a really buttery, it was a really fattening corn, but oh man, it is so good. It really is so good.
But yeah, I was happy with what she ate. It wasn't like I want one scoop of things and then I'm done. I want to go play. She sat there and she ate for quite a bit.
Yeah, and all the other little kids were sitting there eating as well. So she was fine with that.
But then when it got to desserts, I took her with me to the dessert table. I got a couple there and scooped some up on the spoon, and she didn't want it. But then she'd stick her finger on it, and I'm like, well, lick it. So then she licked it, And she's like, oh, this is good. So I showed her the spoon again. I said, here you go. No, she wanted to eat it with her finger. So I guess desserts taste better on your finger. So she had several finger dips of the chocolate mousse.
I'll have to try that next time.
Yeah.
See if that makes it taste better or not.
Yeah. Let us know.
So Karlee's never really been too shy. I mean, I think it comes from her daycare days. She ain't afraid to get in there and just start playing with kids. Kind of really no matter the age to a certain point.
Yeah. I mean, kids she's seen before and kids she hasn't seen before. She just jumps right in there.
And so she had a few cousins there that's kind of around her age. Some's younger, some's older. And she just went right over there and started playing with the older girl and the boy. And I don't even know what they were doing on the ground over there.
Yeah, I don't know either. But she was content.
But she was in there playing, and I remember I think somebody's like, man, she's over there playing with her cousins. I said, oh, yeah, she'll get in there. She's not afraid. She's going to go see what's going on and get involved. So kind of after lunch, same thing happened. She was still playing, and then a couple of the younger ones started crashing. She actually lasted longer than the older cousin she had. Mm-hmm. She ended up starting crashing about 2:00, which Karlee, we like to get her in bed around 1 p.m. is Karlee's nap time, kind of. And we knew we were going to be late. And kind of going into it, we knew we weren't going to stay all afternoon because Karlee would not sleep. I mean, she just wouldn't sleep. We knew we had to leave at some point so she could take a nap. And we never really had a time set going into there.
No, and she's not really one that can make it all day yet without it and just have an early bedtime. You know, she's either going to sleep at her nap time or she's going to sleep at some point. So that's kind of the battle we were trying to figure out. But yeah, we didn't really talk about it ahead of time. I just figured she would sleep on the way home and let her sleep a little bit when we got home.
Yeah, and so it was about 2:30. The other little girl crashed, and Karlee's still going strong. Yeah, heck, she was dancing in there with her great aunts and grandma. They were all dancing a chicken nana, and it's raining tacos, and
all her songs.
Yeah, they were singing Christmas carols, and she was just shaking her booty, and they were just getting a kick out of it. It was quite comical. And the more I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, she is gonna crash. Like she does not show many signs of being tired. She just does not that much.
She doesn't. She's not one of those like really cranky, really whiny, tired kids when there's action. Now, if we're somewhere else and there's not a lot going on and she's getting tired, yes, she gets a little bit more crabby. But if there's stuff going on, oh, what? You didn't see me yawn? No, I'm not tired. I think we decided we would leave by 3. And if we left by 3, then she could sleep on the way home and we'd let her sleep till probably 4:30 or so. And then she would still be okay for a normal bedtime or just a little bit later bedtime.
Because we were in a pinch and we had to make a plan because Jordan's parents were going to come up and they were going to see her as well. So it was going to be a big day. We kind of knew what time frame they were going to come. And so we were trying to battle out how do we get her enough sleep so she's not just a mess, but yet Karlee's bedtime's right around 9:00. Start getting her ready at 8:30. If she sleeps till 8 o'clock, that's only 3 hours. She's not going to be tired yet. I mean, she is, but she isn't. Mm-hmm. She's a fairly routine girl. So we had to bend the schedule a little bit. And when we left and we headed home, probably 5 minutes, she's out like a light.
No fussing, nothing. Just she was out.
Yep. And we knew that's how it was going to happen. She's just going to crash. And ended up getting home. Jordan took her out of the car seat. She generally kind of wakes up and fusses. Nope, she was out and she was gone. I mean, she slept the whole time. Jordan brought her in, rocked her a little bit. Jordan's she's starting to miss her rocking time of Karlee sleeping on her anymore. So she got a little bit of sleep time on Jordan this weekend.
It was good for my heart. Needed a little Karlee snugs.
You probably rocked her for about 20 minutes.
I think it was 10 or 15.
And ended up put her in bed, threw the blanket on her because we decided we're not going to put her in her sleep sack. There's no need of that. We're just going to throw a blanket in there so she's warm, and she was out.
Way out. I mean, that's when she kept napping. And I think I did a load of laundry, picking up, doing other things that I would typically do during nap time. And I think we're just kind of looking like, all right, what time do we wake her up? I think it was like 4:30, 4:40 or so. I open up her door. And typically it's about 5 minutes she wakes up. But she didn't. And I don't know when you came and turned her sounds machine off.
It was probably 10 minutes after that.
And she kind of stirred a little bit, made a little noises, but then she would go right back to sleep. And I could hear you yelling, Karlee, Karlee, to wake up. Nothing. Like she was out. And I think I was putting dishes away and I was being a little louder than normal just to give her some extra noises. The window was open and the sun was actually shining on her face in there.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing. Our Nanit baby monitor didn't even have the infrared. When it gets dark in there, and I mean mildly dark, it goes to infrared, so everything's black and white. It had color. So there was that much light shining in there. It was about as much light as you could get without turning her light on.
Yeah. She ended up having over an hour and a half nap. And I would have been fine with like an hour 15 and just knowing she'd probably go to bed a little bit early. No, it was like an hour and a half and she would have slept for probably another 45 minutes if we let her. But she was fine. It took her a little bit to wake back up. You know, she got a drink, she got a snack, she sat and snuggled for a little bit, woke up, but she was fine. The rest of the night went down probably a little bit later than normal, which is fine. It's the weekend.
Yeah, she did. She probably went to bed around 9 or so, and she slept in. So Jordan's parents came up, started playing just a little bit. None of us were really hungry. They ended up having a big lunch. We obviously stuffed our bellies, so we weren't that hungry. We ended up getting some sides from a local place here in town and had a little bit of supper. Jordan ordered Karlee some chicken nuggets and fries. That's what she wanted. Or chicken strips.
Yep, she had chicken
strips and fries. And she ate, probably half of them or so, which I'm sure she wasn't that hungry either. I ended up eating the rest of her chicken, so it didn't get wasted. But she played and played and played.
She sang and she danced and she went down her slide.
And we still probably didn't get her to bed until normal time. And so once again, you knew she was going to be tired. You know, after Jordan's parents left, one thing kind of caught us off guard, or not necessarily caught us off guard, but one thing we've noticed, our routine for Karlee's bedtime, she knows to a T. She knows the steps. She knows what's going to happen, and she says it anymore.
That happened this week. I mean, probably 3 separate times. And I'm like, whoa, like, you're right. You're actually figuring it out. You know, if we get her pajamas on, get her diaper changed, and I say, we're going to have to get ready to go tonight. And she goes, B, which is her little lovey, B, Passy, Wawa. And then she started adding the new one of brush teeth. And I mean, it didn't sound that clear, but she had a finger and she was rubbing her teeth, like brushing her teeth. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, that's exactly what you're going to do. That's what we do before we go tonight. And we're going to go to your room. We're going to rock and sing some songs. We're going to go to bed. And I was just really surprised, and I'm proud of her. Like, she knows her routine and what it consists of, and she knows what to expect.
And I think that shows the power of a routine.
Yes.
And we've talked about this, I feel like, a decent amount on this podcast. The power of the routine is so good because she knows what to expect. She knows what's coming up. It helps things go more smoothly, for sure. But yet, you know, we talked about the Thanksgiving Day of where we weren't on that exact time. Karlee gives us the flexibility to flex that routine one way or another. Because if let's say we wouldn't have got home until late at night and she needed to go to bed, we probably would have cut a step out or so, but we would have kept all of the other steps the same. Mm-hmm. So let's say, I remember one time, I don't think we brushed teeth because she was a mess. She was tired. She was kind of fussy. We're like, you know what? We're going to skip that so we don't have to battle that battle. We'll just make sure we get it done the next night, and skipped her teeth, but everything, her Wawa, her bee, her sleep sack, mm-hmm. all that stuff was still the same routine. So you can piece one of those out once in a while. It's not a huge deal, but I think that just goes to show how well a routine works. And it's not one of those things that you start a routine and, oh man, like in 3 days, it's just going to be awesome. No, it just takes repetition and consistency week over week over week. And then you start seeing that.
Yes. And don't get me wrong. She still fights her diaper change in her pajamas because she doesn't want to go to bed. But she knows when I have my pajamas on, it's getting time. Like, yes, she fights it. She doesn't want to go to sleep. And she's also a very flexible girl for the most part. And so it'd be interesting to see if we had a child that definitely needed more structure. Like, obviously we'll provide that. And I know that every child isn't like a Karlee. So the routines help. She's flexible. And I honestly think this Thanksgiving went really well. And just the day in general, that we have another Thanksgiving coming up this week. We have more family coming to see us. We have Christmas coming up, and the things that we can flex and still enjoy the holidays, but also follow a routine and still like get her a nap and do some things like that, but doesn't have to be as strict.
Yeah. And there's always one thing to keep in mind, right? Your kids do come first, but don't let it make it miserable for yourself, because what's the point in that? I mean, we do anything for Karlee, for sure. But there is sometimes, yes, you do need to be a little selfish, whether that's me trying to decompress, different things like that take care of yourself as well. Because if you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of them?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So with that being said, that is what was new with our week. We're going to get a little bit more festive. It's going to be interesting once we get through Thanksgiving. It's going to be fun to see how Karlee interacts with her other cousins and as she plays at the other Thanksgiving. I'm going to end up taking an extra day, so I'm only going to work 2 days out of the week. So we're going to have some fun. We got some family that's making a long trip coming down, and it's going to be a good time. The holiday season is ramping up.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy end of the weekend. But it'll be fun and a lot of memories will be made. So we're excited to share it with you all.
That's all we've got for you guys today. We appreciate you listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for listening to Parenting in Progress. If you like what you heard and you're listening to us on YouTube, please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. If you're listening to us on other platforms, go ahead, give us a follow and a rating. We truly appreciate it. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.